So you're thinking about moving to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and you keep hearing about this place, Carolina Forest. As of right now, Carolina Forest is not a city, it's not a town, it is an unincorporated master planned community that is situated between the city of Myrtle Beach and the city of Conway. Carolina Forest is considered one of the most up-and-coming, desirable places to live along the Grand Strand, but as I've mentioned in the past, all great areas come with their fair share of cons, so today I'm going to share with you some of the best and worst things about living in Carolina Forest. Hey, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Nick, and on this channel I talk about things to do here in Myrtle Beach and the surrounding areas. I give tips and advice about the area, and of course I talk about the real estate. So if you're thinking about relocating to the area, then be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and tap the little notification bell while you're at it. This way you could be the first to know about what's going on here in Myrtle Beach. I get calls every single day from people just like you who are moving to the area, so if you ever have any questions or if I can help you find home here at the beach, then I would love to chat with you. You can always use the first link down in the description to schedule a call with me. So whenever I do these pros and cons videos, I normally start with the pros and then I work my way into the cons. But today I thought I'd switch it up. I'm going to start with the cons. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for saving the best for last, and let's get into it. So con number one, and probably one of the biggest downsides to living in Carolina Forest, is going to be the traffic, and more specifically the traffic on Highway 501. Carolina Forest is a section of Myrtle Beach that is west of the Intracoastal Waterway. It is sandwiched between the Waterway and Conway and International Drive and Highway 501. Highway 501 and International Drive run east to west, and the main roads running north to south are going to be Carolina Forest Boulevard, Highway 31, and River Oaks Drive. Living on the south end of Carolina Forest means that your main way to get east across the Intercoastal Waterway into Myrtle Beach is going to be via 501. Highway 501 is the main way in and out of Myrtle Beach for people in Conway and for a majority of the people who are traveling to Myrtle Beach on vacation. The amount of road use along with the amount of traffic lights that are on the road do cause significant congestion that can easily double travel times during the peak times. Living in this section of Carolina Forest also means that many of your daily needs are also going to be along Highway 501. This is grocery stores, Walmart, Home Depot, gas station, restaurants, things like that, which means you're likely going to have to battle this traffic in your daily life, not just when you're trying to get to the beach. Now, many people from bigger cities have experienced this congestion when I'm out and about showing them properties in the area, and they've laughed at the fact that I've called this traffic, and that's because at the end of the day, whether or not you consider it bad is all going to be relative. But when compared to the rest of the Myrtle Beach area, the traffic on 501 is bad. Now, that buildup typically starts once you get west of Highway 31. So there are some communities like Bella Vita, Berkshire Forest, and Carolina Waterway Plantation where you won't have to experience that congestion despite being on the southern end of Carolina Forest. Now, con number two is that Carolina Forest is inland. It does not sit right on the beach. So if you're someone who's hoping to move to South Carolina to live right on the beach, then Carolina Forest might not be for you. Carolina Forest is in a great location and there are many things that are close by, and we're going to get into that a little bit when we talk about the pros, but the reality is that many of those things are not going to be right in your backyard. What do I mean by this? I get a lot of calls from people who want to be in a quote-unquote golf cart community where they can take their golf carts to the grocery store to grab a quick bite to eat, or more importantly, to the beach. Unfortunately, the reality is you're not going to be able to take a golf cart to the beach if you live in Carolina Forest. Now, most communities will allow you to have a golf cart. It's not going to be against the rules to have them, but it's not really going to be feasible to take your golf cart outside of most of the communities in Carolina Forest. They're mainly going to be used to travel within the community, which for some is still a great reason to have a golf cart. I feel like I just got sidetracked on golf carts a little bit, but yeah, con number 2 is that Carolina Forest is not right on the beach. Okay, con number 3 is that Carolina Forest is a very densely populated area. I know that in my last video, I made a point that nearly half of the land in Carolina Forest is designated conservation land to never be developed, but where they can build, they are packing the homes in. Carolina Forest is home to some really big communities with close to, if not over, 1,000 homes per community, like the Farm, the parks at Carolina Forest, Berkshire Forest, and Clear Pond. And many of these communities are going to have smaller lots with the homes closer together. But that doesn't mean that you can't find communities in Carolina Forest with bigger lots. One that comes to mind off the top of my head is Waterbridge, and that is located right in the center of Carolina Forest. Being a densely populated area doesn't just mean smaller lots, it also means more crowded shops, more crowded stores, and more crowded roads, which helps contribute to that problem that we talked about in con number 1. And con number 4 is that almost all of the homes in Carolina Forest are going to be within a homeowners association, also known as an HOA. Now, I personally don't believe that living within an HOA is a bad thing. Sure, there's definitely some things that are a little bit annoying, but I think that the pros of living in an HOA greatly outweigh the cons. But if you're somebody who is totally against living in an HOA, then Carolina Forest might not be the right area for you. Okay, now that we got all of those negatives out of the way and behind us, let's talk about some of the positives to living in Carolina Forest. Pro number 1 is going to be the location of Carolina Forest. And I know Carolina Forest is not right on the beach, but stick with me here. If you look at Carolina Forest on the map, it is almost as centrally located as you can get for the entire Grand Strand. Now, Myrtle Beach is the true center if you're talking about just the coastline, but if you factor in Conway, then Carolina Forest has Myrtle Beach beat for being the center. You can get to both Little River all the way up on the north end or down in Murrells Inlet on the south end, each in about 35 minutes thanks to the easy access to Highway 31 on both the north and south end of Carolina Forest. You can get to the Myrtle Beach Airport in about 15 to 25 minutes depending where in Carolina Forest you live, and it'll take you about the same amount of time to get to the beach. As I mentioned earlier, Carolina Forest is west of the waterway, which acts as a natural buffer for those who are visiting Myrtle Beach on vacation. This means that you won't have to deal with most of the downsides of the tourism industry unless you're going to visit those areas yourself, which is a huge positive for living in Carolina Forest. And if you do decide you want to play tourist and visit some of those fun things to do, they are just a short drive away. The next pro for living in Carolina Forest is that you find some of the best community amenities in this area. Many of the communities in Carolina Forest are home to beautiful resort-style amenities such as resort-style swimming pools, lazy rivers, fitness centers, clubhouses, and more. Some communities that are known for their great amenities are Waterway Palms Plantation, which has a multi-million-dollar community center, Waterbridge, which has one of the largest residential swimming pools in South Carolina, Berkshire Forest, and Plantation Lakes, just to name a few. Carolina Forest is also home to a few waterway communities, which are Waterway Palms Plantation, Carolina Waterway Plantation, and the Bluffs on the Waterway. These communities all have intracoastal waterway frontage with their own private community boat ramps and opportunities to own homes right on the intracoastal waterway with your own private boat dock. So if you're looking for a community with lots to do, then Carolina Forest should definitely be on your list. Pro number 3 is that many of the homes in Carolina Forest are on the newer end, and there's still a ton of new construction going on in Carolina Forest. So if you are someone who is looking for a brand new home or a home that is just a few years old, then Carolina Forest is going to give you a ton of options. In our entire market, about 25% of the homes that are currently for sale are new construction homes. But in Carolina Forest, nearly 50% of the homes that are currently on the market are new construction homes. Even some of the more established communities like Plantation Lakes still have some homes that are only a year or two old. New homes will range from inventory tract homes being offered by big national builders to fully custom designed homes by more local builders depending on the neighborhood. Being that Carolina Forest is a relatively newer developed area, a lot of the shopping centers, facilities, and restaurants in the area are new as well. So if you like new, then Carolina Forest might be for you. And pro number 4 is that Carolina Forest is home to some of the best schools in the state of South Carolina. Actually, Horry County in general is home to some really great schools, and I'm not here to say that one is any better than the others, but a lot of people do ask me about the Carolina Forest School District, so I want to share with you some stats that I found. Carolina Forest High School has an A- on niche.com, and according to US News, it is ranked 2,754th out of over 20,000 schools in the nation, which puts it in the top 13% of high schools in the US. They also rank Carolina Forest High School 26th out of nearly 250 high schools in the state of South Carolina, which puts it in the 89th percentile, and the student-to-teacher ratio for the high school is 21:1. And that is going to wrap it up for the pros and cons of living in Carolina Forest. If this video helped you in any way, I'd appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos like this one in the future. If you're ready to find your home here at the beach, then I would love to chat with you. You can always visit contactmovingtomb.com to schedule a call with me. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.